Hello my Stampin' friends, I'm Sandra at artypapercrafters.com and my project for you today is this one. It is a storage box which will hold either 6x6 designer papers, or it will hold, let me bring it over, my other ones, because I seem to have made loads of these. This is my other one. It holds 6x6 embossing folders or the smaller 4x6 embossing folders. Absolutely useful. And the reason I'm doing this video is due to the fact that I did a clipboard design a couple of weeks ago or so, and lots of people asked me if I would do a video for this. And as quite a few people did ask me, that's why I'm going to showcase this. However, my original inspiration came from Samantha Clayton of Mixed Up Craft. She showed how to make these. And obviously I've used different papers and put my spin on it. But the design is basically the same. I have done centimetre measurements as well. I'm not sure if Sam did. Anyway, we're going to make one of these together today. And now you can either make one or you can make two. It's totally up to you whether you want to put them on a base. Underneath here I've made this base, and I've brought these little metal clips which I've got here. I've put them in an old pot that I've got. And I think there's about 100 in there. They do come from China, so they take several weeks to arrive, but they do finish off the corners very, very well, like that. And so yeah, so I haven't made a decision yet. This is the designer paper and this matched it. This is an old Stampin' Up designer paper which I had over, and I was just experimenting, wasn't sure whether they would turn out, and they can sit on there. You could glue them on there if you wanted to. I don't know if you can see that. You can glue them on and it makes like a box if you want to lift it up as two together, or you can make a smaller base and just lift one. I'm not sure whether I want to stick it to the base yet, so I haven't actually done that. But you can if that is your choice. It all depends, I think, how your craft room's designed. So let's go and crack on and make one of these gorgeous little storage boxes, which are absolutely so useful. Absolutely genius, I think. So these are the products, or these are the materials you're going to need. So I'm going to bring you down closer now to me. I think that's about right. Now today I've chosen one of the new products, the new Magnolia Lane Designer Series paper. Lots of designs in here. I think I did an unboxing and showed you those papers, so that's what I've used to make my box today. So the ingredients or materials you will need will be some chipboard. I explained about the chipboard coming on the backs of DSP, usually the foil paper or the acetate, things like that. Some of the designer papers you get this chipboard which is quite strong, or you could stick two cereal boxes together or something like that if you have no chipboard, but it's sort of like a thick cardboard, and that's what you use to make these boxes. And it's great to use them because they're given to you for free. Why not use them? So to make one box, so this is just to make one of these. So if you want to make more than one, you will need more of this. So this is the base, and this measures 6 1/4 by 3 inches, which in centimeters is 16 by 7.5, and you need to cut one of those. Then you will need 2 pieces of chipboard that measures 5 by 3 inches, and that's 13 by 7.5 centimeters. So you'll need to cut 2 of those. Then you will need 2 pieces of chipboard that measures 6 1/4 by 5 inches, which is 16 by 13 centimeters. So you cut all your chipboard first. Then you will need one sheet of 12 by 12, which is 30.2 by 30.2 centimeters of designer paper of your choice. It only takes one sheet to cover this, which I think is brilliant, and there's no waste. And you will need to cut your designer paper. Make sure that if you have a pattern of any sorts, that you are running with your pattern first, so that you need it to be the right way up. And you need to cut your designer paper at 7 3/4 inches by 6. So you mark 7 3/4 cut. Then you will cut that in half at 6 inches, and you will end up then with a piece that measures 6 by 4 1/4 inches. You will cut that in half. Well, you will have a piece that measures 12 by 4 1/4 inches, and you'll cut that in half at 6, and then you'll have two pieces of that. And the measurements for that in centimeters are 19.5 by 15 and 15 by 10.7, and that cuts that in half with no waste. So we start off with the two larger pieces. These are the front pieces here and back. And what we're going to do is, you've got your pieces, so let me tell you what you need to do. So the pieces that measure 5 by 6 1/4 and 3 by 5 inches are the pieces that you need to cover with your designer paper. So to start doing that, you need to use your double-sided tape. And what have I done with my block that I had? Can't put it away. Yes, I put it away. So you've got your chipboard, and we're going to cover it. And you cover it all over. You could use wet glue, but I would not advise that, because you don't really want to wet your chipboard too much. And this makes sure that it's good and stuck. So you cover 4 pieces. There's no need to cover the base piece, because you're not going to see it. It's going to be underneath, and there's no point wasting a piece of designer paper on that. And I haven't put any paper on the inside of the box, because once you've got your 6 by 6 papers in, or your embossing folders, you really can't see inside it. So that's it. We've covered our piece of chipboard. So now we take off the backing. Like that. So this is the front, so lay this on the back. Now this is my up piece, and the design on this is pretty sort of random, so I don't think it really matters which way up that goes. So bear in mind, when you're cutting your cardstock, you need it to be the right way up if you have a pattern. So I've centered that on my grid paper, so that tells me where my lines are, so that when I lay this down, I know that I need to put it 1/4 of an 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and a bit, and then I need to go in by just 1/4 of an inch. So that looks good to me. Lay that down. So I've got about 2 1/4 inches. No, I haven't, Sandra. What have I got? So that side you'll have about 1/2 inch, and this side you'll have about 1/2 inch. and then at the ends you've got about 1/2 inch as well, just about. But don't forget we're doing this so that it we get no waste from our 12 by 12, and it's perfectly good. And then what you'll do is you'll just cut the corners off, but you will leave about 1/8 of an inch just on the point there where you've joined that. And I'll show you why when we fold this up, because you want your corners to look good and neat. So we do that all the way round, leaving about 1/8 of an inch. Just snip off the corners, giving yourself that 1/8 of an inch. Right then, so the next thing we do, we take our larger pieces like this, and we bring in our base piece like this. So we need to stick these two front and back panels to this base piece, and in order to do that we need some red line tape. So you put your red line tape, so let's get them out of the way, we don't need that at the moment, do we? I think I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, as they say. So put your red line tape down fairly close to your chipboard. Where's my smaller scissors? And you want to put that all the way round. So I could have done this ahead of time, but I didn't. So you'll have to bear with me while I put this on. But don't be scared to make one of these, because they're not as complicated as they look. Follow it step by step. If you need to come back to my video, stop my video and just work along with me. That's the best way, I think, to make something if you're unsure. But these really are a genius way, and virtually free, because you're using up scrap bits in your crafting stash. I mean, I'm sure we all have bits of these chipboard. Could even, I reckon, maybe, I suppose you could use a cardboard box, but maybe if that's got hollow parts to it, that wouldn't be a good idea. But we've all got this chipboard, and all you're really needing then is a bit of glue and some DSP, one sheet. I mean, fantastic. Right then, so to continue, let's just have a look at this pattern. I think I'll have that way up, and let's just have a look at this. Yes, that looks good. Right then, pattern is the right way up. Now we take off the bottom part that we're going to call the bottom. We take one of those pieces off, and I add a little bit of extra wet glue. Well, when it comes out, I do. A little tiny bit of wet glue just on that edge that's not covered by the tape. And then we're going to fold that up. Something I probably should have done earlier. Fold that up so that you've got a good line there. And keep that up, standing up, and marry up your chipboard so that it's in perfect alignment along there. Get your bone folder and press. Give that a really good press. And when you flop it down, you'll see you've got a gap, and that's what you want. That is what you want to have so that your box will stand upright. Now, while I'm doing that, I'm just going to go round and fold this. Right then, so there we are with that. Now we need to put this piece on. So this is our bottom we've established. Bit more wet glue on there on the part that we didn't cover with our tape. Right, same thing here. Stand that upright, make sure that stand that upright. I'll work this way so that you can see what I'm doing, and marry up your chipboards so that they're the same, so that you've got this, you know, the same length running along. In with your bone folder and give it a jolly good press down. There, so now we have the front. We have the front and back parts done. So let's fold these over. And this side again. Right then, now we're going to stick these sides down, and I think I chose to do the sides first. So what we do is we stick all these pieces down on this one. Wet glue because you've got a gap there. Press that in. Press that down and give it a good press with your bone folder, and some glue will come out, possibly, as it has done on mine. We just wipe that away. That's it. Now we do the opposite side. Bit of wet glue, maybe not so much as I used before. Take this off. I assume I took that off the other side, that sticky back stuff. Well, if I didn't, it's stuck. It's not coming up. That's it. And then, before we stick this one down, let's lift up our, take that off before I forget. Put your wet glue along. And then you need to push that little corner part that I was telling you about. Push that down with your bone folder, push that in, and that gives you a beautiful edge, a beautiful finish. So like that. Can you see what I mean by that? You've got beautiful corners, beautifully finished corners. Now we're going to do the same on this side. Take up our sticky tape and stick that down on the sides first. Same the other side. Tape up. And this tape seems to be getting everywhere. Right. I mean, once you get going on these, once you've made your first one, that's it. You've just got to make another. And now this is my fifth. This will be my fifth one that I've made. Same thing on this top part here. Get your bone folder and press that in. Press that down. Because we want a good neat edge. A little bit of wet glue just on this part that's not covered by the tape. press that down nice and firm. In with your bone folder, and that is your front and back completed. Looking good. So now we need to tackle the other last two pieces. So the same thing happens with those. We need tape on all four sides. And if you don't want to see me doing all this tape, you can fast forward it. And my tape's run out, but voila, I have another. Well, when you can get into it, we have another. That's it. That little slither is stuck to me. Oh, getting stuck up here. Right, put a bit more on the end there. And some on here. That's it. Lovely. Right then, so that's those two. Now these are slightly different. So first things first, fold this over on all four sides to give it that memory. Do that on both pieces. Like that. Right, so you look at your pattern and you decide, is that the way up, is that the way up? And for me, I don't think it really matters. Let's have a look at the front of the design. So am I up that way? No, definitely not that way, that way. So that's my up. So this is the base. Let's take the tape off before I forget. Same again, a bit of wet glue just on that part that the tape missed. And same thing again, holding that up. Let's come out a bit now. Hold that up on its side. Marry up your two pieces of chipboard on their width. Get your bone folder. Press like that, and that's it. Bow it down. Same again. Decide which is up. Is that up? I think I want. Let me just have a look again. I don't think it really matters, but I'm going to have it that way. So take your take this off, bit of wet glue, then same again on its end, let's do that way round so that you can see better. On its end, marry up your widths, press it down with your bone folder, make sure that's good and stuck. That's it. So that's all our, let me come out again. That's all our pieces now that form the box stuck together. So that's what the base looks like. I mean, it does look very neat. And if you wanted to put another strip of DSP, you could, but you're not going to see it, so what's the point? So that's it. So now this is slightly different in its finish, because what you're going to do now is you're going to finish off the tops. You're going to finish off the tops of these instead of the way we did it before, where we did the sides first. We're going to do the top first. So take your tape off. Bit of wet glue. And press that over and down. Don't forget to press your sides in like I showed you before to make sure that you land up with a neat edge. We do the other side, top first. Bit of wet glue, fold it over, fold it over, press it down again for good corners, press that down like that. Now this is how, and I shouldn't have stuck that on there, so I'm just going to leave that on there because I've stuck my glue on the wrong place. So this is how you are going to finish your box. You are going to fold that over and make sure that you've got a good finish by folding that over. And do the same on the other side. And to finish this, for wiggle room, we are just using our wet glue. Although you could use your tape as well. Yes, let's use tape just in case. Good idea, Sandra. So let's use some tape. We're just going to put that on the outside edge only. Same this side. And don't put it too close. Don't put your tape too close to the outer edge, because when you bring your sides up, you don't want that to be all sticky. So, again, we take the side off. Take the side off. Stick some wet glue on. You're going to stick this. You're going to stick both sides one after the other, so make sure you get your glue on. On the inside, make sure that your glue goes to the top. So we've made sure that the glue is to the top, and bring up one side at a time. So one side at a time, bring that up and make sure that you bring up your side so that it's a perfect match at the top, so that it's level. You see what I mean by level? There. And bring in your side and stick that down. Like that. Now I know that doesn't look quite so neat as it would. I've got my red line tape on the inside, which is sort of, as I said before, I should have put it the opposite side. So bring up your other side, same thing, bring it up so that your sides match, and you might have to lift it up. I find that it's not a question of just pushing it together. Lift it together, so make sure that it's the same level, and push your bone folder in very carefully and make sure that that's good and stuck. And that's what we have got. And can you see how beautiful the edges are? Can you see that? Isn't that gorgeous paper? Oh my gosh. So same again on here. Press that over, make sure that that's a good edge. Tape on the outside. But not too close to the edge. Where have my scissors gone? There they are. Right. I keep losing my pokey tool. I don't know where it's gone. There it is, stuck in between the scissors. Right, same again here. Lift up the backing off your tape. Bit of wet glue. Make sure you go to the top. You want a good finish on that top. Make sure your glue is to the edge, your wet glue, because you can always rub that away, you see, whereas the sticky line tape you can't. Same thing here, glue up to the edge, the wet glue up to the edge. Very good finish. Right, finish with that. Right, last bit. This bit, make sure that they're both tucked in and pull them up. Stick one side at a time. Make sure that you're pulling it up the front or the back. And make sure that that's good and stuck down on the inside. So with your bone folder, press that down. Make sure that that's good and stuck. Same here. Pull it up to meet so that you've got a good line. And where's my DSP going? Down the bottom there. Pull that in. Pull that up. Same thing again, press inside for a good neat finish. And that is your box. Like I said, you could cover it with DSP on the inside afterwards if you wish. I'm not going to, because like I say, once your papers are in, you're not going to see it. So for decoration, I'm just going to get a wet wipe because my hands are sticky. So for decoration, you can decorate your box if you wish with ribbons, embellishments, whatever you choose. I haven't decorated some of mine because they can get in the way, embellishments. But today, because I've got this beautiful matching ribbon, and this matches this designer paper, petal pink organdy striped ribbon, and it's 5/8 of an inch. You get 10 yards or 9.1 meters. And just today I'm going to put this round the top of my box, and I'm going to have a bow. because I'm going to make it look pretty. So that's the amount I need. Cut a straight edge. And then I'm going to secure that round with a few glue dots. So let's get our glue dots out. Because this ribbon is see-through, I think that a few glue dots would be better than the red line tape. So I'm just going to stick some glue dots like that along the front, eyeballing a straight line. And then I'm going to make sure that my ribbon is straight. Well, not twisted, should I say. And then I'm going to come round here and have that about there. I think that's straight. Whoops, it's not stuck. So that's about straight. Press that down. And then bring that round to meet it. Stick that down here onto the glue dots. And then I finished a little wee bow here, made a little bow. So we're going to use a few glue dots to stick that on. So a couple of glue dots on there. I'm just going to trim a bit of that ribbon off because I think it'll show. I'm going to stick another glue dot under there. And then I've lost the glue dots because I've just put them on there. So let's go again with these glue dots on my ribbon bow. Pop that on there. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope you enjoyed this video and found some inspiration there. I hope you'll have a go at making one of these boxes. They really are sturdy and gorgeous. And just before I go, let's pop these in here. And I forgot to say that I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 packs in here of 6 by 6. And you can see that I've got room enough, I reckon, for at least another 2 packs more. So you could get between 7 to 10 packs in here, which is genius, and make one for your embossing folders as well, and you're well away. Now, just to tell you that these little inserts, little dividers I made myself, I made them out of printer paper, and the printer paper was cut at 6 by 5 3/4. Then I placed the paper through a laminating sheet, and when it was cool, I cut the excess off and left myself with, I suppose, about 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. And then I use the envelope punch board just before you put it through the laminating sheet. I should have said, cut your papers 6 by 5 3/4, and then use the envelope punch board. You pop it in. This is the 6-inch side, that's the 5 3/4. Pop it in your envelope punch board in the middle where that marker is, and punch. That gets you that mark. Move it along to 4 inches. No, not 4 inches. 3 inches. 2 3/4 inches. So put it in the middle, punch. Move it along to 2 3/4 inches and punch. Then you cut away that little excess piece there, and that gives you a divider. Put it through a laminating sheet, trim the edges, and then you can put them in. And I have then just got a sticky sheet, and on the top I've put what papers I've got in here, which is Gingham Gala, and I've put the colours that are in it in the set, which is Balmy Blue, Daffodil Delight, Grapefruit Grove, Highland Heather, Lemon Lime Twist, and I've done that on all of these so that I know what colours will work with my DSP. So that's a genius idea. So I think that's it. I think I've covered everything. Oh, and if you haven't got an envelope punch board, they're useful for cards, they're useful for envelopes, boxes, and of course for making your own dividers. You can make bows with them as well. And Stampin' Up are discontinuing the envelope punch board at the end of May, so if you want a punch board, you need to get it now. So if you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to buy some Stampin' Up products, please click on the down arrow description bar and go over to my website at artypapercrafters.com, where you will find all the project details and measurements along with my Stampin' Up online shop. That's all for me today. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Bye.